I never realized to the extent of how much alcohol is embedded in our culture until I quit drinking. It's so glamorized. It's the center or the focal point of pretty much any kind of social gathering that you go to. And when I was drinking, obviously I loved that because it was a guarantee that wherever I went, people were going to be drinking. And of course, I would be drinking right along with them. But now, being in recovery, life doesn't stop. There's still birthday parties, weddings, funerals, anniversaries, vacations, all these things we have to relearn as the sober version of us. But when you first quit drinking, there definitely is a feeling of loneliness there. You feel isolated. You feel like everybody else around you is drinking and you're not. And you think, how can I ever enjoy these kinds of events again? So there's definitely a transition period there. And even now at almost 23 months sober, I'm still figuring it out. But one thing that definitely helped me was finding other sober people. And a great way to find these people is through sober communities. And also the community at my gym has been amazing as well, because in my experience, people who prioritize their fitness, people who go to the gym on a regular basis, they aren't typically out getting hammered on the weekends. They may not necessarily be sober people in recovery, but more than likely they're people that their entire identity is not wrapped up in drinking. Like they're willing to go do things on the weekend that don't involve drinking. And as I ventured back out into society in my recovery and have gone to events or celebrations where there is drinking, I've also been able to find sober people. And the thing of it is, you don't realize that there's sober people at these events when you're drinking because you're not really paying attention to who's not drinking. Side note, keep that in mind when you're going to a social event early on in your sobriety and you're worried about people noticing that you're not drinking. Think about how many times you were at these events hammered drunk. Were you really paying that much attention to who wasn't drinking? Because I know I wasn't, because I didn't notice these people who weren't drinking until I wasn't drinking. So as sober people, we have to learn how to adapt to a culture that does revolve around drinking, because we can't live in a bubble for the rest of our lives. We have to go back to normal things in life, and part of that is celebrations and social events. But that's all part of our recovery, which is essentially building a life without alcohol. And there are sober people out there, you just have to find them.